is Donald Trump, and I'm the largest developer in New York. I even have a television show. I thrive on energy. This isn't a game. I'm not playing games. Who will succeed? Who will fail? And who will be the apprentice?
So, Joe Pinion, I'll begin with you. His name is Mudd, and people often hear that phrase, but they don't realize it was Dr. Samuel Mudd who treated John Wilkes Booth after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And the Mudd family for years has suffered the shame. What will the legacy of the name Trump be going forward?
I mean, there's that old saying by Cab Calloway, a chicken ain't nothing but a bird. Look, at the end of the day, I think when you talk about the Trump family, it'll be that he was president. Whatever legal matters come out of this will come out of this. And I think at the end of the day, what the decisions that his children make will, I think, in many ways go a long way. Are they going to hop into politics? Is Ivanka going to run for Senate in Florida? Is Junior going to run to the Midwest and run for Senate or run for president? Is Laura Trump going to go down to North Carolina, as he suggested, and run for Senate? The reality is that, you know, they're going to make choices that will shape the legacy of the Trump name for over 100 years. And I think it also comes back to us as people as well. What will we hold them accountable for? Right? Because as I've told many people, Donald Trump would have never made it to the White House if Black people in particular had not given him the social capital required to be a household name, to be able to go out there and do what was necessary. So we have to be very clear about who we're giving our cultural capital to moving forward.
Jesse.
Well, President Trump will go down in history as the first television star to become president. Ronald Reagan was the first movie star to become president. Donald Trump was the first television star to become president. His presidency changed everything. We are now attempting to rewrite rules and codify things into law that were norms because of President Trump. But unfortunately for President Trump, what he will be remembered for the most will be the pandemic. The loss of 250,000 plus American lives. Just like George W. Bush is known for Katrina and September 11th, President Trump will be known for the coronavirus pandemic. That is what the history books will write down, that in the last years of his presidency, a virus from overseas came to America and devastated the country and changed the lives of every single American. All of the other political and legal and moral stuff may be mentioned, but what will mark his presidency will be 2020 and the lives that were lost of American citizens because of a pandemic.
Dr. Dibinga.
Well, I would say it depends on who's writing the history. We just talked about earlier how people go online looking not for information, but affirmation, and people who think like them. Some will call Trump the greatest president ever. Some will call him the worst. Some will say he's the one who was responsible for the pandemic. Some will give him all of the praise for the vaccine. So I never thought I'd read history books that were written in the last 10 years that said African enslaved people were migrant workers. And so it really matters who's writing the history, who we allow to be at the forefront of putting out those stories. To me, he's going to be remembered as the worst president that I've ever lived under, the most racist president that I've ever lived under, the most irresponsible and self-serving president. But I have to also respect the fact and try to have honest dialogue with the fact that there are people who believe that he's the exact opposite, and see how we can work to find common ground in these uncommon times.
Gentlemen, I thank all of you for being with us, and I wish you all a safe and healthy and prosperous New Year's and Christmas, and always mask up.
Thank you.
God bless.